Under Obote, especially his first time in power, most of the time it didn't last, this my being out of favor. Then I would get invited to the White House and have tea with him, etc. So we had this very intriguing experience of up and down, depending upon whether I'd criticized him or not. But he treated me virtually as a fellow Ugandan. That went well, except for one occasion, where he locked up the editor of a magazine in Uganda called Transition magazine. So he locked up the editor of the magazine, and he also locked up Abu Mayanja, who was a distinguished lawyer in Uganda. And because Abu Mayanja had written a letter to Transition saying judges were being appointed on a tribal basis, that there was tribal prejudice in appointment to the judiciary. So he was locked up then, and Rajat Nyogi, the editor, was also locked up. So I issued a statement of protest, you see, and it was circulated. People thought I'd really gone too far. Makerere people said, this is going to be historic. But in fact, at first it worked out very well, because although the news and the radio that night was discussing a part of this imprisonment and my letter of protest, in general, it seemed things were not too bad. Then I got an invitation to go to Parliament from him on a particular day, at a particular time, meaning not to sit in parliamentary seat, but to be available in Parliament. And so I knew that was a command performance. If the head of state says you are to be in Parliament by such and such a time, you better be. So I arranged for someone to give my lecture to my class, and then I went to Parliament. Then it turned out he wanted to give a lecture which would include more or less a denunciation of me, an attack on me. That's the only time where he started reciting other things I had said before, because on one occasion I had said, in Uganda, people, when they see a number of soldiers coming down the road, ordinary citizens shake in their boots because they don't know what treatment they would be given by these soldiers. And at that time, I'd just come back from Ghana, and said there's a major contrast at that time to the soldiers in Ghana, you see, where if they walk around the street and there are citizens there, they're just soldiers. Nobody's terrified. They might be humiliated by them. So I'd said this in a public lecture within Makerere. And I had said it quite a while ago, you see, but he recited it in his parliamentary denunciation. He said, Ali Mazrui said this about our distinguished and brave soldiers of Uganda, etc. And he contrasted them negatively with soldiers in Ghana who had overthrown Kwame Nkrumah, etc. And then he said, if we don't know if Ali Mazrui will be picked up tonight, but in any case, he should consider going to teach elsewhere.